with you here, back live. Yes, this is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my asexual life journey in order to help you and yours. If you haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting for, people? Go and subscribe and hit that great big bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. So we're back doing the no sex movie reviews, people. If you are asexual, if you lack sexual attraction, you're also very nudity repulsed like me, not into sex in movies, and you really want to find some movies that just don't have sex and nudity in, this channel is the place to be. I want to thank one of my viewers recently who wrote personally to me to show appreciation of this channel. They said they watch a lot of my videos and they particularly like the no sex movie reviews because they're very sex averse, very sex repulsed, and you know, they find it hard to find movies with no sex in them. So they really love the fact that that's a great element of my channel. It's very different to a lot of other channels out there. So a couple of days ago I went on a self date. Now I have to let you know I've broken my ankle back in April, if you didn't already know that. I have been off work sick, been very ill with that. My friend comes and does food shopping for me twice a week, but I had to go into the city centre and get bank statements. I had to go and do it myself, so I had my boot. I've got a special boot to help keep that ankle in place, and crutches. I don't go out much. I haven't really been out much in a few weeks, and I just usually go to physio. That's pretty much mostly what I do. And so I combined that trip to get the statements from the bank to go on a self date. I thought I've had enough. I've just been cooped up in my flat for weeks, and being an extrovert asexual is very, very difficult when you're used to going out all the time and you literally can't go out, basically, because you have to heal yourself. It's taking longer to heal than some people, but it can take up to 3 months on average anyway, so probably on course for that. So yes, when I combined it with self-date, I had a Nando's meal, and if you don't know what Nando's is, it's a chicken restaurant, and you collect rewards and you can get free food after you collect some rewards. So I had one of those, free half chicken, and then I went to see a movie. It was planned because I looked at the times when they work out with the banks, going to the banks, and it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I went to see a film called Godzilla versus Kong. Now, Godzilla is like a reptile, you know, like reptile monster creature that lives in the water. There's a lot of films about Godzilla, and King Kong, or Kong for short, is a great big gorilla, basically. And so there's been movies done individually about these two characters. But in this particular one, there's Godzilla versus Kong. So if you don't like spoilers, please do not carry watching, because I am going to spoil the movie plot for you. But, you know, I like to discuss these things because I just think it's great to find a movie that has no sex and no nudity in. So I have to say, first of all, this film has no sex in it, no nudity in it. There isn't even any kissing going on in it. So if you are aromantic asexual, you lack romantic attraction and you lack sexual attraction, you're fed up with romance, you don't want to see romance in movies, this would also be a good movie for you to watch, right? Because there is no romance going on, you know? It's more about friendships, and the only like sort of love there is really is between like a mother type of scientist and a daughter, right, going on with an adopted daughter. So, and this adopted daughter can talk to Kong. I don't know that the woman is an actual scientist. She basically specialises in studying Kong and his environment and stuff like that. But it's her adoptive daughter that ends up being able to talk to Kong. Because she's deaf, she sees Kong in a different way, and she can communicate sign language to Kong, which is very, very, very interesting, right? Very interesting kind of ongoing subplot. So with this particular film, Kong is in this secure facility, but he's really outgrowing it, right? And in this facility, they've got various things going on in it. And what happens in the beginning of the movie, Godzilla comes out of the water, decides to destroy a lot of the place where Kong is actually staying, because there's a lot of stuff going on in these buildings, some dodgy stuff, right? Now you have this subplot going on where there's this guy that works at this place, and he is kind of knowing something suspicious is going on. He's seeing dodgy stuff going on in rooms and stuff, and so he knows that something's up, and he enlists the help of a girl that was originally saved by Godzilla in a different movie. That's the plot anyway. So Godzilla, she knew from before, like, saved her and her father, as far as I understand. But in this movie, he's destructive. So or we think he's destructive, right? So he's coming into the kind of the place where Kong's staying at a secure facility, but there's some other kind of dodgy stuff going on in these rooms. And Godzilla is hell-bent on literally destroying it. So he's breathing fire. He's literally, you know, causing like all this stuff to blow up. And it's quite spectacular. I did like the scenery. I did like I loved seeing Godzilla in full action. I thought that was really, really interesting and good. And, you know, it's like a 12 or 12A, I believe. I think it's 12A. So it's kind of a good, fun family movie. It's got some kind of like, you know, adult, when I say adult plot, it's to do with, you know, like, being greedy and, you know, basically when people get a bit like on the evil side, when they want to take over the world, that type of stuff, you know. So but I think it's suitable for kids. I really liked it. So basically this girl knows that Godzilla, who saved her before, wouldn't do something like that without there being a good reason. The guy who's in the facility who works there, who saw dodgy stuff going on, teams up with her and this other guy. On a side note, you look like a young Indian guy, actually. Too young for me, but anyway, but yeah, so these three go together and they have to try and break into the facility, but he's got like a pass, but he's not high security pass, right? He just like works as one of the people in like kind of the factory type of place, you know, behind the scenes. So anyway, so there's kind of like different plots going on. There's this woman who looks at it, kind of like studies Kong with her daughter that can speak, adoptive daughter that can speak to Kong. There's another plot where something dodgy it's all to do with this place at Kong's staying, which is very dodgy. You know, things are going on dodgy on this facility. And so then you've got so your mother and daughter, then you've got the other plot of basically the guy who works there, who's teamed up with the girl who was originally saved by Godzilla, to get back into the building he usually works in, but in the secure areas he's not supposed to go in. So you've got that going on. And then you've also got this other guy that comes into it whose brothers died. So it kind of lots of little subplots going on. This brother's died, and these people who at the facility employ him to try and go to get this Earth's energy source. But what they do is they talk him into getting Kong to travel out of his, you know, like home that he's been surrounded in, you know, secure facility. They take Kong, the gorilla, King Kong, on a big ship and chain him down so that he can go and get this energy source, right, from like the Earth's core. I mean, it's supposed to be the Earth's core. Let me just double check that. Yeah, looks like it is. So yes, in the film, Kong clashes with Godzilla as humans lure the ape into the hollow earth to retrieve a power source for a weapon to stop Godzilla's mysterious rampages, right? Because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to stop him from like, you know, shooting fire at all this secured facility where there's dodgy stuff going on. So they chain the Godzilla down, and of course, not Godzilla, sorry, they chain Kong down, and while Kong is chained down to this ship and they're traveling to the core to get this power source, Godzilla comes up out of the water, like shoots with his fire in his mouth, shoots loads of ships and comes after Kong basically, and then they battle in the water. Kong is freed eventually. They battle in the water, so there's a good battle scene going on. And then they kind of play dead for a while. And then I just got a bit confused how quickly but I had to go to the toilet a couple of times in the movie. And it's not easy when you've got crutches. You can't go fast. It's really annoying. So I kind of missed a tiny little bit of it. But basically, I then came to know that Kong all of a sudden was then going to the Earth's core with them and to get this like power source. And and so it switched to a different scenery. I didn't actually find out what happened, apart from it seemed like everyone else on the ship where Kong was chained down was pretty much killed, apart from a few people, and one of them was, you know, like the mother, the woman who's got the adoptive daughter, this guy whose brother died, who's been sent to get the light source get Kong to get the light source. And there's also this other woman, which I didn't take very well to. I don't think you were supposed to. She seemed like a bit of a spare part, but she didn't really say much until it came to it when Kong found this light source, right? So when they go to this like Earth's core, there's a lot of kind of different lighting going on, different special effects, different layers of the core. They have these special ships they go on, so there's quite a lot of special effects going on, which I really did like. Lots of different colours, bright lights. It reminded me of a bit of a fairground ride, though, to be honest. I usually go to somewhere called Breen theme park. I was going to go this year for my birthday, but couldn't because I broke my ankle. And there's kind of like loads of tunnels with loads of lights and everything. So you're kind of like, whoa, you know? So that was kind of cool. So it's quite good stuff there. And then when Kong's down in the Earth's core, he's battling these different kind of like prehistoric creatures and stuff. And anyway, Kong gets the light source. And this woman who wasn't really doing anything very much, she said, oh, my daddy will like have that. He always gets what he wants. I think it's a daddy always gets what he wants. I think it is her dad. Yeah. And so anyway, basically this light source that this guy whose brother died was getting Kong to get, he thought it was for the greater good, but it wasn't actually, because they suck up this source, this power source, and the problem is when they suck it up, they send it to the facility where there's dodgy stuff going on, and then this is when you find out what's really been going on behind the scenes. Now, again, if you don't like spoilers, please stop watching me, because I'm really going to spoil the plot now, because I'm going to tell you what happens. So you find out behind the scenes they've been building this super Godzilla monster. But this is kind of take over the world so that no longer are humans the superior species. We are the better ones because we can create this kind of monster. And it's a huge, like, Godzilla, but robotic Godzilla. But what they've done is they've taken old prehistoric skulls and bones, extracted the DNA from it. And they've kind of, this guy who looks a bit like a Chinese guy, he's got a headset on, and he's like controlling the robot, the robotic Godzilla, using kind of like these radio waves where they have, which is attached to the DNA, which is still on this like skull, this dead body type thing, like bones and skull. So it's really quite weird. And, and you see him go into this like, oh, my eyes are going up kind of phase. And it's like, what's going on with him? And then you realise he's trying to control the robot, but he's trying to do it all kind of like through this headgear set. But things go wrong, and kind of like he sort of breaks free, and it seemed like at one point the monster had a complete mind of its own, basically. And then the monster goes after Godzilla, and the reason why they want Godzilla dead is because they want to make this monster, this robotic monster, the supreme being, if they like, bigger than anything in the world, so they can like take over the world, right? And they needed this power source to do it. And so at one point, King Kong, the gorilla, and Godzilla, I told you they were fighting in the actual water. They had some more fights, and they're fighting each other and fighting each other. But when this actual... And there's one point which is sad, because Kong nearly dies in the movie, right? So, but at the end, they give him an electric shock with a ship towards the end, before the final fight scenes, when this monster comes out, this robotic monster comes out to fight Godzilla. Eventually Kong comes, he's not completely dead, but his heart's not beating properly, so he's dying. So basically they jumpstart his heart. He becomes like Mr. like, I'm great again. And Kong and Godzilla are battling out, but there's this monster this robotic Godzilla monster that's coming after them. It's remote, I told you, controlled by this like Chinese guy with headgear. And so, and this robotic Godzilla, if you like, is supposed to be more powerful, and he's destroying the city, killing lots of people, like a fire-breathing dragon he is, and it's just really awful for the people. There's chaos and destruction. And so King Kong and kind of like Godzilla are fighting each other, and then the girl who's deaf, who can speak to Kong via sign language, says, Godzilla's not your enemy. Right, and you always know that in the end they're going to just end up I kind of knew that from the beginning. They're going to end up, King Kong and Godzilla are going to end up somehow, instead of being enemies, are going to work together on something. I already gathered that a long time ago. So some of the plot is very predictable. You know, it's not exactly like, oh wow, I didn't expect that, but I still think it's good. I love the factable. You know, it's not exactly like, oh wow, I didn't expect that, but I still think it's good. I loved the fact it had a robotic Godzilla in, because I don't think I was expecting that. I was expecting Godzilla and King Kong to get together somehow for some great good, but I didn't know there were going to be a robotic Godzilla. And when I saw this robotic Godzilla, I actually really love robots. I don't want to be a robot. I don't want a microchip in my brain like kind of like a few people do, but I do like robots in and of their own right. And so this robotic Godzilla was pretty incredible and powerful, and it was really huge. But then it seemed to have a mind of its own. Oh, Sam, hello, my buddy, my best friend. I want to see that. We'll wait until it's on Netflix. Haven't seen the most recent Godzilla film yet. Oh, it's really good. Yeah, this is the film that's come out this year, 2021. So yeah, it's really, really good. I did like it. Thanks for the thumbs up. Yay. So yes, I really enjoyed it. You know, it's very predictable. It is kind of like a certificate 12, but you would expect it to be a certificate 12, you know, but I really liked it. I did like the robotic monster in it, robotic Godzilla. I thought it was really, really good, because, you know, I was expecting something with Godzilla and King Kong to get together, but I wasn't actually expecting the robotic monster. So, it was pretty powerful in that, but it is, you know, it is predictable. And it is kind of like, you know what's going to happen. You know, there's nothing major going on in certain parts of it. But the special effects were good. And like I said, there's no sex in it, no nudity. There isn't even any romance, really. I mean, there's a guy who looks at the woman a little bit, but, you know, there's nothing really there, you know. It's more like just admiration and let's get on with the task, you know. So, you know, you don't know if anything would possibly happen in another film with those two, but in that there wasn't any romance or anything, you know. So I guess, you know, it's a really good, what I would call asexual film, in the sense that it has no sex going on. There doesn't seem to be any sexual attraction stuff going on. There doesn't appear to be any romantic stuff going on. There's an inkling that maybe the woman who has a daughter and the guy's brother lost, maybe they might like each other a little bit, but it's very, very, very subtle and vague. Maybe a little bit grey romantic, if you like, very minor, but really, you know, there's nothing really in it. It's like kind of like, okay, that's there's nothing, it doesn't lead anywhere. So, you know, I just really think it's a good film to watch. It's great fun for the family. So I don't have children. A lot of asexuals don't have children, but there's some asexuals that do have children, or some asexuals that have nieces and nephews to look at after. So if you're going to the cinema or want some entertainment for them, it's a good film to watch, right? Because you can watch it, they can watch it, and we can all have some fun in life. So I would recommend it. And yeah, that's going to be the end of my movie review tonight. It's going to be ace to be back live with you. So I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, Sam. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video live stream. Don't forget, this is a place to be for education about asexuality. So if you haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that great big subscribe button right here, right now. And please hit that bell icon so you get notified once again when I'm live or, you know, upload a new video. Until the next time, brace your quirky and each other's. And I'll see you on the next video live stream. Take care. Lots of love. And see you soon. Bye. Ooh, bye.